horror. Horror. Everybody knows it and everybody loves it. Well, not everybody loves it, but everybody experienced it. A few weeks ago, I asked myself, what is the best Roblox horror game? And instead of googling it, I made a stream ranking them, which will be revealed later in the video. Oh, and that question will be the main subject of today's video. But before we get started, let me just shout out Nah, I don't get sponsored here because I'm too much of a failure. No. Anyways, let's get started. So before we get to the gameplay or ranking, we have to list the games I prepared, done with absolutely no research at all. So the first game is Minutes Remain. Minutes Remain is a horror game made by Perfect Gamer 626, and it was made on the 8th of July 2022. Minutes Remain is a quote, unique horror game where a random event happens every minute, end quote, and that's basically it. So moving on to the next game, Alone in a Dark House. Alone in a Dark House is, drumroll please, a horror game, and it was made by Umamideo on the 2nd of July 2014. Alone in a Dark House is a game where, I quote again, a private investigator travels to a small town only to discover dark, scary secrets about a family. That's everything for that game. Now we have Dead Silence. Dead Silence is again a horror game. Who could have guessed? It was made by DoomX10 on the 25th of January 2011, which is also the oldest game on this list. The game is very unique and I won't spoil anything. It is also called the #1 scariest game on Roblox. We'll see about that. That's basically it for Dead Silence. Then we have Doors. Everybody knows this game, and probably everyone has played this game, so I'll keep the explanation short. But for the people who haven't played it, it is a unique game involving doors and monsters, and that is the game. With the most visits. Incredible 3.1 billion visits. That's why I said that probably everyone on Roblox has played this game. There's much more explaining to do, so I'll continue. So the next game is The Mimic. The Mimic is also a very popular game with 659 million visits. It's hard for me to explain, so most of the explanation is probably just the description from the game. The Mimic is a game where you play in Japanese history and urban legends. The game also has multiple chapters, or as they say, books, where you play a different character when venturing the unknown depth of the Mimic. That's the best explanation I can come up with, so I hope you can imagine the game. That's every game on this list, so let's start with Minutes Remain. Minutes Remain is an okay game, because from my experience nothing really happened for 20 minutes, and the main goal on this game is to survive as long as possible, but 20 minutes is really much, so I expected at least something horror to happen, but nope, not really. Also, just a reminder that every minute some random event is going to happen. But I played for 20 minutes, so at least 20 scary events should happen, but nope, nothing at all. So that's why I rate this game a, drumroll please, 4.5 out of 10. Could be better, but that's how it is. Okay, moving on to Alone in a Dark House. Now here is where we get to the scary. So if you have problems enduring anything scary, you can skip to this time to skip this scary game. Anyways, Alone in a Dark House. So I think this is a very great game because I was so scared I couldn't even get past the tutorial. So that already gives the game a bonus point for very scary. I'm going to show you some footage of the game with some scary ambient sounds to show you the creepiness and scariness of the game. So yeah, very scary. I'm gonna say this game is not what I expected, even though the title already told me everything there is. I'm just gonna say that this is a great game, and that is also why I'm going to give it 6.41 out of 10. Now I rank it higher, but my chat and Frogo didn't think that this was scary. But I'd still recommend this game. And the next game is Dead Silence. Dead Silence is, not to be harsh, but it could be scarier. It has potential, but I just didn't really think that it's scary. And it also is not that hard, since the game basically tells you what to do. But it's still okay scary. I think the game is a bit short though, but it's still, it's still good. I think the game isn't supposed to be scary, but more to surprise you. And that is what makes this game relatively good, but it could be better. Since the game is short, I don't have much more to talk about, so let's talk about the ranking. So I give this game a 6.425 out of 10, which barely gets it to first place. But things still can change, so let's keep going. On to the next game, which is basically known by everyone. Doors. So in the beginning I already talked about this game, which means I will only talk about a little of the game. So Doors is a brilliant game with a totally original idea, which is totally not stolen by anyone. No, the devs wouldn't take an idea and change only a little. No, they wouldn't do that here. Anyways, Doors is a game which for me isn't that scary at all. It is only scary if something vital in the game breaks. But that wouldn't happen since it's a perfect game. That's all I can talk about, so let's get to the ranking. I give this game a whopping 9 out of 10, which skyrockets this game to first place. But we have one more game, so things still can change. So let's keep going. And the final game is The Mimic. Now, The Mimic, like Doors, is a brilliant game, and it's scary too. The Mimic is basically a puzzle game set somewhere sometime in Japan, and it's only for people who have the IQ of over 10,000. Since I took more than an hour to complete the first puzzle, there were like 10 puzzles. So it's very hard to. So if you can survive doing puzzles by being chased by Wish.com Medusa, then go play it. If not, watch a video of it. So let's get to the ranking. I give it a 8.5 out of 10, which makes this game second place. And what a surprise, Doors wins. So that basically answers the question. Doors is the best Roblox horror game, according to my research and my chat and Frogo and whatever. So yeah, that's basically the video. If you have any questions, comment them down below. And I hope that you subscribed and liked, because this video was hard to make. Also, I linked the livestream and the Doors and Mimic livestream down below. So I hope I see you next time, and goodbye!